Hello everyone, today I will be sharing my very first Shacket. So if you would like to see and hear all about this project, the good and the bad, please continue to watch. Hello friends, thank you so much for stopping by the channel. My name is Talisha and I also go by CreativiTeeByT, and if you're new to watching the channel, I welcome you and hope you consider subscribing, and thank you to all of my returning subscribers for coming back and for your continued support. And before we get started, go ahead and make sure you click the like button and the subscribe button so that you can be notified of future videos if you have not done so already. So today I will be sharing my very first Shacket. Simplicity came out with Simplicity 9388 last fall, and I have been wanting to make that pattern since, and I actually purchased the fabric to make this pattern last fall as well because I thought I would be able to get around to it, but I didn't. The pattern was put back on my radar recently because this was the pattern of choice for the Sew Your View challenge on Instagram last month, and I had intentions on getting it made, and I did cut it out and things like that, but it ended up being in a UFO pile due to other obligations and just stuff coming up. But today I am here to show you the finished project and share all of the good and the bad. So I will go ahead now and quickly go over the pattern details and my experience while making this. Again, the pattern is Simplicity 9388, and the pattern description is unisex shirt jackets, which we in the fashion and sewing world call a shacket. There are 3 views to this pattern, and the differences between all views is the length. And view C, which is the shortest view, I'm thinking may not have like the side and seam pockets. I'm not really sure, but I can definitely see how those could be omitted because of how short of length that it is. For the view that I made view A, which is the longest length. And for the fabric recommendations, they recommend broadcloth, chignon, corduroy, cotton blends, lightweight, denim, flannel, linen blends, stretch wovens, tweed, wool types, and sweatshirt fleece. Just a lot of different fabrics that are recommended, and I personally don't think that all of these fabrics would work well for this pattern, like broadcloth. I just don't see this shacket being made up in broadcloth, but that's my opinion. The sewing skill level is noted as average, and I totally agree. This shacket was not hard to make at all, but you definitely need more than beginner sewing skills to make this due to the plackets, the collar, the knowledge of doing the burrito method with the yoke, the pleats, buttons, buttonholes, you know, those type of things. So while it's not hard, like I said, you have to be beyond beginner. So for the notions, you're going to need thread and buttons for all views, and for view A I use 11 buttons. So for the pattern sizing, this comes in extra small through extra large, and the size that I cut was a size large, and my shacket is too big. Much bigger than I would like for it to be, but I feel like I don't want to make like alterations and just live with the oversized look because I made this garment very well. I feel like I make all my garments very well, but I use the burrito method for the yoke with this shacket, and that process makes the insides even more clean, and I don't want to disturb that look. And I'm certainly not unpicking all of the like top stitching and, you know, trying to do all of that over just to keep the same look. So, you know, honestly, I'd rather just remake it and give this one away to someone who could use it if it really bothers me that much. But honestly, it doesn't bother me that much. I'm gonna wear it, and I'm going to style it, and I'm going to wear it a lot because I really like it. I just wasn't expecting it to be that oversized. But anyway, the reason why I cut a large is because my bust is a 46.5 and the finished measurement for the medium is 47.5, but I wanted to make sure that I had space to wear a sweater underneath it, because I'm going to be wearing this through like the winter months as well. And the Shacket, I felt would look like it was like I was stuffed in it if I would have made the 47.5. You know, I just wanted to make sure that I had space to wear, you know, things underneath and layer it with winter sweaters and clothes with. But you know, I tried a couple of sweaters on with the Shacket on, and I feel like I just still have a lot of room. But I showed it to people. I've worn it several times because we have had some cold days since I've made that Shacket. I actually went to Chicago, day trip to Chicago, and it was so cold. But it kept me warm. But you know, I was with, you know, some people when I was on that day trip, and they said that it looked fine and things like that. And there, you know, it could just be me, but that's just, you know, my opinion. This is the second oversized type of garment that I have made in the last 30 days, that is a button front. And I love like off the shoulder type of oversized, but when it comes down to the button front, you know, just moving forward, I now know to not go past like a 48 with the finished bust measurements, because that's when it gets to the point to where I feel like it's just too loose. But like I said, I still like it. So for the pattern pieces that I used were only 7 of them, and those were the front and the back, the yoke, the sleeves, the inseam pockets, the bust pockets, the sleeve cuff, the button placket, and the collar. And I do absolutely think that it looks like the garment on the pattern cover. I definitely feel like I achieved that look, and this is, like I said earlier, a very well made garment on the inside and the out. So I am very, very proud of that, and the instructions were very easy to follow, no issues at all. And the things that I like about this pattern most is I like the idea of Shacket, and I like how casual it is because it can be worn often. You can wear this every day and get the most out of your made garment, the most out of the time that you spent to make this. And that's what I love about some of the more casual and everyday type of garments and things that you can make. It's just being able to utilize them and wear them every chance that you can. Like I said, and I'm gonna keep saying it, even though it's oversized, I'm going to be wearing this because I know how to style it in an oversized way. But there wasn't anything that I disliked about the pattern. I didn't learn any new techniques. I didn't have any first time experiences other than the fact that it is a Shacket. But to be honest, it's no different from like making a shirt dress or a top, button front top, something like that. It's just the style and the look. But for the fabric, I used this beautiful white plaid, blue and white plaid I should say, that I purchased from Joann Fabrics from the Platitude section. Like I said, I purchased this last fall because I had plans to make this pattern that didn't get around to it. So that is where this came from. This is very, very warm, and it is perfect for this type of project. Like I said, I got it from Joann Fabrics, and they have very many different patterns or fabrics to choose from in the Platitude section. So if you like plaids and you like this type of jacket or this style, I would definitely check that section out. And so for the buttons that I purchased, they also came from Joann's, and I had to buy like 5 packs of buttons to get enough for this project because again, I needed 11. And to be honest, I usually buy cheap buttons from Joann's that are like the $1.29 buttons for most all of my projects, but they didn't have the blue shades in stock that would work for this particular project, and I didn't want to use white. So I buckled down and I purchased these Spectrum Cool. They were like almost $3, or might have been over $3 per pack. And that kind of bothered me because I'm not into spending a lot of money for buttons like that. Like, you know I spend money. I have shopping issues, but one thing I don't like to do is spend a lot of money on buttons. So yeah, I had to do it, and it's done. But yeah, so that's for the buttons. But as far as alterations or changes, yes, I cut view A because I wanted the longest shacket out of all of the views, but I had to cut about 4 inches off the length because the button placket pattern piece for view A was much shorter than the actual view A shacket. Okay, so I had already cut out all of the pieces and I didn't want to like add fabric to the plackets that I had already cut out because I would have had a noticeable seam, and I'm working here with plaids where I wanted things to line up a certain way. So I just went ahead and cut the jacket length to fit the shorter length of the placket, which worked out anyway because, you know, I mean, it didn't look bad and it's still long enough. So as far as any modification recommendations that you need to do if you're going to make this pattern, my advice will be to cut the placket about 5 inches longer than what the pattern piece is if you really want to have the longest length. Like I said, I'm okay with the overall length because I feel like it's long enough, but if you're sewing for a person that's like 6 feet tall or taller, or you know, just wide or whatever, and they may need the length, then I would definitely recommend that. But I would definitely recommend this pattern to others. I think it's a great pattern. This pattern is available. It came out last fall in 2021 and it's still available at your local Joann's and Hobby Lobby and on the Simplicity website. As far as my pairings, I paired my Shacket with my Simplicity oversized sweater. You'll see those in the photos if you have not already. And I made that last winter, or last fall I should say. And I am happy with actually that oversized look. Okay, that wasn't too oversized. And the number for that pattern is Simplicity 9178 if you want to sew that one up. It was a very great pattern and easy to sew. And as far as my accessories, I just wore my normal hoops when I wore that out. And for my shoes, I paired them with my high top navy blue Chuck Taylor Converse to match. And I also made a beret. Let me show you. You know I love hats, so I made this beret to go along with it. Unfortunately, the pattern that I got must be for like a child size head, and I have not figured out how to make this bigger. Like, it's okay around the top of my head, but this needs to be like doubled. And when I look at the berets that I have, they're not made like this, so I'll figure that out later. But anyway, I tried it. So now I will enter a few more pictures and twirls of me and my Shacket. So yes, this is a great pattern overall. Just make the length adjustments needed to be made if you are going to make this in the longest length. And if you are not into like super oversized, don't go to oversized, because it could be possibly that this pattern is unisex, that it's also bigger. I'm not really sure, but yeah, it's just a little bigger. And I will say I have noticed that in my unisex patterns, it just seems like when I go up, it's just really big. So like I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but yeah, just stick to your normal size. But overall, I really like the Shacket, and I hope you like it too. So please let me know what your thoughts are about this pattern and how you think it looks in general, and on me in the comment section below, as I would love to hear your thoughts. I am getting ready to close out this video, but before you leave, you know what I'm getting ready to say. Please take a pause for the cause and click the like button and the subscribe button and the gray notification bell so that you can be notified of future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all of my new and returning subscribers for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!